What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. It is the Transformational Empress here. I've already sent out the APB on me going live. And let me tell you something. Spirit has spoken. Would have never in a million years thought to do this. Well, you know what? That's dramatic. That's real dramatic. I probably would have thought to do this, but probably not as soon. But Spirit wants me to give back today. So we are doing free live readings today. Now, this is my request. This has nothing to do with source. But if it's going to be free, I would like, and I would prefer them to be shadow work readings. And what do I mean by that? I mean, let's deep dive into some questions. Let's deep dive into your subconscious. Let's, ask some real hard-hitting questions on what's going on. What is the hiccup in my life? What is the thought process that is causing me to, continue this cyclical, that's it, cyclical pattern. Good Lord. It's giving, let's have some really deep conversation. It was on my heart earlier today to do some shadow work with the collective. But I'm like, if I can come on here and really get into the nitty-gritty of the shadow work and process it with you guys, it's one thing to do videos and you guys like it and appreciate it, and you do get your help in a minute and 30 seconds, but it's a whole different program. It's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different level of understanding, safety, and comfort that you get when you have someone that is there to walk you through that thought process, to help you see what you're hanging on to. There's this saying that I actually got from one of my oracle cards, and it says, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. Meaning, if you continue to say, I can't do such and such, I can't do such and such, I won't let da 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 go, I won't da 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 da, that means there is a whole set of answers, opportunities, solutions that you have closed yourself off from. So if you say, I can't do X, Y, and Z, if we have a conversation and I give you 30 ways to help solve your problem and you give me 72 as to why you can't do that, versus saying, hey, I might not be able to do that exactly how you said, but I may be able to tweak it and make it work in this area, then that's it. Okay? I can't do more for you in your life than you do for yourself. You are the common denominator, and you are the person that is continuing the train that you are on. I can try to help push the brakes. I can try to put dirt in the tracks to slow you down. But ultimately, you have to push the button in the train to change it a different direction or to slow it down. That's on you guys. So that is my purpose for coming up here today. And I'm going to start off. Got a little something to drink today. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like today might end up being this set of readings might end up going pretty deep. I'm waiting on a few people to show up right now. But in the meantime, in between time, let's see let's see what we can start off doing. I hope you all can hear me okay. I'm trying not to speak and muffle it up and have it rubbing on my neck and all types of weirdness, you know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't like that. Sorry if y'all hear a bunch of chaos. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so I was thinking I might start off with a few affirmations today. Maybe some journal entries. I'm not sure. Like, I'm just free going it today. I will pick up the cards in just a second, but I just want to see if there's anything in my personal repertoire that I would like to share. Well, first off, I'm gonna share this, okay? This is my brain dump book. All right, and what this is, it's a huge book of journal entries, readings I've done for myself, affirmations that I would like to implement for myself, plans, my 3-month plan, my 6-month plan, my year plan. I got scriptures in here for protection. I was getting ready to say some stuff I don't have no business. I have diary and journal entries on, you know, people, places, and things that I am manifesting in my life. There are, you know, I actually took the time, and I don't know if you guys saw my reading from yesterday, but there was a little bit in there about, how do you say it, about regulating your nervous system so that your excitement doesn't feel like anxiety. So you can tell the difference between the two. What do I mean by that? As a divine feminine, there's a level of safety and comfort that we get from masculine energy when they protect and they provide. And sometimes when you are unhealed, them protecting and having provisions for you can sometimes feel like control, or we have to be very careful and clear on the discernment between the two. You know what control looks and feels like, you know what I'm saying? But also keep in mind, there is a certain level of provision that has to be in place. There might be something, hey, you might not know it, but I've seen some things over in this area. I'd appreciate it if you didn't trot your behind over there in that area because it's not safe, or, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between the two, and you have to make sure that you regulate within your body. So with that being said, there are things personally that I, as a divine feminine, was like, you know what? Shout out to my divine masculine. You know what I'm saying? And I made a list of the things that the divine masculines in my life have done for me so that I know what provision looks like, that I'm not put in this space where I'm bitter when things don't work out or pan out the way I believe it should. And not only that, but it allows for me to match the energy. Like, oh, okay, well, this is what I've experienced. This is what I've experienced here, 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 here. So I don't need to accept anything less, because if I've already had this experience, that means it's already in my energy. So why should I settle for anything less? Make sense? Cool. So that's where we're at with that. Listen, I'm going to throw this in a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong. This is definitely my Empress energy. This is definitely my Empress hair. But it's about to get put up. Give me 1 second. And I say this to say, and when I say this, I mean I speak on this masculine energy to say that masculine energy, based on the law of gender, okay? The law of gender by itself, the universal laws, are they the 7 hermetic principles? Correspondence, vibration, vibrations, correspondence, law of oneness. Y'all know what I'm talking about? As above, so below, cause and effect, the law of gender. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you don't, Google it. It'll change your life, I promise you. Anyway, one can't properly and healthily exist without the other. Period. Okay? So, for me, what I realized was there were times, especially as a single mother, that I have to step into that masculine role. And it's one thing to step into a role, and it's a whole different thing to become that role and it become who you are at your core. At my core, I am a divine feminine. I might be what some people consider to be a dark divine feminine because I do exude a certain level of confidence and this, that, and the third. We'll get into that a whole nother day. I don't feel like getting into that, but yeah. Where do I want to go with that? I don't quite remember where I was going to go with that. But long story short, you need both to exist. Okay. And for me, I had a lot of experiences where I felt in life, not necessarily now, but in life, where I felt abandoned and or neglected by the divine masculine. And to keep those things from continuing to show up in my life, I was like, you know what? They really aren't all bad. Oh, there's a law of the universe. The law, is it the law of observation? I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Look at me. I have it written down on my wall, actually. I'm learning. I'm picking up on it. But anyway, there's a law of observation, meaning whatever you focus on is what you continue to envelop and draw into your life. So I was like, I'm not going to continue to focus on and pick on the negative things and the negative experiences that I've had with the divine masculine. I'm going to focus on the positive things. So a few of the things that I've experienced, and I'm probably not going to say them word for word because, you know, it's none of y'all business. But one, I communicated with a guy about my dreams and aspirations, and this individual, whether it was off of Chat GPT or what, he decided to come up with an entire business plan for me, including how to grow the business and expand the business, talking about milestones, like, okay, in 3 months, based on what you already have right here, based on what you've already posted on social media, we can have you here in 3 months. We can have you here in 6 months. We can have you here in 9 months. And I was like, all that based off of observation. Like, don't get me wrong. He already had the tools and the know-how and the knowledge, you know, because he had his own business. He has his own business and all that type of stuff. But like, I thought that was so kind and so sweet to see, like, based on what it is that you wanted to do as an influencer. So it was a past life. I used to do makeup. Based on what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be as an influencer, he was like, oh yeah, I got you. Boom. Here are your milestones. Da 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 da. And I was like, that was deep. So something else. I had a guy friend stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning to walk me through my homework. As an individual who has PTSD, anxiety, depression, suffered from grief, and because of my PTSD, I have I experience, well, that's part of it. Every now and then I stutter, but I experience short-term memory. I don't always remember things, and when I get stressed, like I have an elevated stress level, I'm unable to comprehend things as well as I normally would while I'm, you know, calm, chilling, sipping on my tea, reading a book, whatever, you know. So sometimes I literally need somebody to, especially when it's a little bit more complicated, something that's brand spanking new and I'm not understanding, I might need somebody to read it out for me. And I had a friend a guy friend that stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning to walk me through my homework because I couldn't understand it. They sent me screenshots of the evidence as to, you know what I mean? Like, they've already done their due diligence. They've already been to school, all that. And he stayed up. I read the questions. I screenshotted him the, you know, the questions and the discussions and stuff like that. And he's screenshotting it to me like, hey, so based on what this is saying right here, he's like, I don't have to understand it. And he's like, you know, telling me the tips and tricks of school. He was like, sometimes you don't have to understand it too. You just got to give them the answer that they need and or want. So here he is, not knowing anything about traditional Chinese medicine, Googling the answers, and it's lining up with my paperwork, lining up with my book. And you know what I'm saying? And I was just really appreciative of that. I also had a guy friend who was the epitome of unconditional love. And it was platonic. But it was like, when I got out of my marriage and I was going through some of the darkest times in my life, I didn't always make, you know, the best decisions. But I was always the type of person that, especially back then, that when I had certain conversations or when I did certain things, I'd have conversations with other people about my actions, not necessarily what anybody else did, but about my actions, because sometimes when you're grieving, sometimes when you're hurting, you don't realize that you putting yourself in certain situations, putting yourself in danger. You feel me? And there were conversations that I had, and I didn't realize that I had put myself in situations that could have caused me harm. And I was able to not only have those deep, healing, transparent, and vulnerable conversations with him, but the way he loved me as a friend did not change. Like, it was legitimately the epitome of unconditional love. And that was probably my first real, if I'm being honest, that was probably my first real introduction into what unconditional love could look like and feel like, because other than that, I didn't think it existed. And then of course, you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with somebody from a friend's standpoint, it's like, well, you're doing all that, that doesn't, you know, that doesn't directly affect me, so I can be, you know, I can be vulnerable with you, I can be transparent with you, I can be, you know, we can have this open, honest communication, because at the end of the day, it's not like your decisions are affecting me and my household and all those other things. So, you know, that was still, it made it even more beautiful that it was really that and just that. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, that I felt like I bore my soul to that individual, and like there was no judgment, nothing changed. And that really just opened my eyes to a whole nother level of what love meant and looked like, if that makes sense. Other things, trips, vacations. I had a guy crack my crab legs for me and feed it to me. And I thought that was beautiful, because that's not something that I would do. I would feed you something off my plate. But crab legs are annoying. I love to eat them, but they're annoying. So to me, I was like, that's love. Service before self. That was a beautiful thing to me. It's simple, but my mind was blown, because baby, crab legs. Oof. Again, the same individual, not the same individual with the crab legs, but someone created a workout plan. I said that I wanted to, you know, lose weight, and I had no idea of what to do, how to eat for my body type, blood type, all that type of stuff. As you can see, I'm still a thickums, okay? I gotta work on here before I work on here, because I was doing a whole lot of working out, and with my cortisol levels being up high and stressed out and stuff like that, it just wasn't. Sometimes you gotta work on the internal, you feel me? Work on your internal stress. and how you handle and how you carry that in your body before you can do other things. So I'm still grateful and appreciative, and I still have the workout plan written out. And as soon as, you know, I go to the doctor, check my levels and all that type of stuff, and, you know, come up with a plan to lower my levels and get them, you know, where they need to be, get my, you know, my vitamin D up and all those types of things, then I'm gonna hop back on that. I'm telling you, I got a goal for the end of the year, and I already know it's October 20 something, but shoot, baby. And also, just keep in mind, I'm thinking fine regardless. Okay, I don't even have chapstick on, and I'm thinking fine regardless. And that's something that you have to know, and you have to know for yourself. All right, that's something that you have to know from the inside out, baby. Anyway, yeah, and something else, something very little, like just as much as it's, you know, appreciated when a woman makes sure a man eats, it is equally appreciated when a man makes sure that a woman eats as well. So, you know, there's been times I've been working, or times I've been depressed and sad and this, that, and the third, and, you know, out here knock on my door and it's Chick-fil-A because they know I was having a rough day. So they got me some food. So, I say all that to say it might not look like this. It could be, I'm appreciative of my dad for showing up to help me change my tire. I'm appreciative of somebody showing up for me when I really needed them. And keep in mind, you know, the nature of a man versus the nature of a woman is very different. So they might not show up as cute and cuddly as, you know, as women would like, but at the end of the day, sometimes them being there and doing something, showing up and doing something, acts of service, doing something is something amazing in itself. So regardless of if you still have had positive experiences with that person or not, just write down the isolated incidents in which someone took the time to, not someone in masculine energy, depending on, you know, how you present yourself and how the other person presents themselves, if you will. Just take account. And I really do hope that helps to heal that energy. What else? What else did I want to share with you all that's in my book? It's a whole lot of, man, I'm over here talking about doing shadow work with y'all. I feel like maybe this is me doing shadow work with y'all myself. There's a lot of things I have written in here, and like I have everything in here. I have ideas, I have business ideas, I have goals, I have readings that I've done for myself. I've notes from readings that I've done with other people. My top 3 life paths. That's something else that I offer. Hold that thought. It can be like a career reading. But what I did for myself, there were 3 paths that I had in mind already. So if you want to be like, oh, okay, well, there's these 3 things that I'm looking into doing, something that I did for myself, I did a full-blown reading on each thing. And then I got spirit, source, your divine guides, guardians, and ancestors that wish to see you walk the highest path for your greatest good. And like I said, I have to say it like that because I like to ensure that I'm only calling those who mean you well. Okay. and I'll pull cards on each one. I'll rank them first, second, and third place, and the results of all of them. And I even went over, the platforms that would be best for me to start on, and all that type of stuff. So that is something that I can do for you guys as well. Also, I do a lot of actual brain dumping. So there's this technique, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's something like automatic writing. So what it is you just sit down with a pen and paper, and whatever comes to mind, you just go with. And eventually what happens is something catches, and all of a sudden you're just going. And it can be representative of shadow work. It can talk about your fears, the things that you've been holding inside. I have a lot of shadow work surrounded by healing and love, and what it looks like for me. I noticed that in my natal chart. If you guys are into astrology, and even if you're not into astrology, there is a lot about your birth path, your life path, that you can get, a lot of information that you can get out of that. And something that I realized it was the website is astrocafe.com, and I just stopped picking at my face. I was doing a 30-day challenge on keeping my face clean and doing skincare and stuff like that, and I'm fading my spots a lot. They used to be really dark, so I'm actually doing a really great job of that. No filter, baby. But what was I saying? God dang it, this is why I don't like doing that. I was talking about shadow work. I don't know, what was I talking about? Y'all, I forgot. Spirit, bring it back. Bring it back. Oh, automatic writing. So doing automatic writing, ended up being, for me, oh, that's what I was talking about. A lot of healing around my divorce and love and those types of things, because it runs in my family. We are, for lack of better terms, we are love bugs. We are, very loving and kind individuals, but sometimes one or two things are happening, like you stay in a situation too long, or somebody in the family might have experienced abuse on some form or on some level. And I'm realizing there's studies to show this, that when you have ancestors, generations that have gone through traumas like that over and over and over again, it can transfer and stay down into the DNA for between 7 to 12 generations, if I'm not mistaken. So even if you are seeing patterns in yourself and you're like, I know not to do this, why is it so hard for me to do X, Y, and Z, or to not do X, Y, and Z? Sometimes it's genetic. Sometimes it's really something on the inside of you that is causing you to do these things. So that's why it's so important to look at your natal charts and those types of things, and it'll give you an idea of, what it is what your challenges could be in this life. And for me, my challenges is how stern I can be when it comes to love. Because I'm a love bug and I get real serious about relationships. I go above and beyond for people X, Y, and Z. I get real pissy when it is not returned in the same way, energy, or effort that I've put in, And a part of me is learning, like, hey, if you don't want to be put in that situation, then you don't need to go above and beyond for people in the beginning. You need to match energy. You need to see what this person is doing, what they're not doing, X, Y, and Z. And once you figure out if they're deserving, then you go full out. Don't give these folks what it is in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because then now you all pissy and you about to blow up the world because you feel like they're not matching your energy, or you're not getting out what you put into the situation. The wild thing about love is that nobody has to do that for you. You have to do it for yourself first. There's a reel going around right now with the lady from, I think her name is Tasha, the lady from Why Did I Get Married? And she did an interview, and she was like, when you truly understand your self-worth, you'll start to be stingy with your time. You will not allow for yourself to dwell and sit in situations and experiences that are beneath you. And it's so true, you know? So I've had to do a lot of work on that personally for myself, and understanding what love is, what it's not. And one lesson that I've learned, and I prayed and meditated on, it was boundaries protect unconditional love. And I got that straight from source itself. Like, I remember sitting in a bathtub one day, super sad, doing a spiritual bath. I had the lights and the candles and stuff going, and I was just praying and asking God to heal my heart. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because here I am trying to love like I've never been hurt before. And even in doing that, it just seemed like, how do I say it? It just wasn't getting reciprocated. So I'm like, well, what is this? And it was like, boundaries protect unconditional love. When you know this is the type of environment that you need to dwell in and be in order to be your best self, then that's what you need to be in. Anything outside of that can't go. If you see my TikTok video or my video on Instagram, and it might be on YouTube as well. I'm going to post this on YouTube. I have a video called the If-Then Method, and that's talking about ways to set a boundary and to make sure that it's clear, not only on your part, on their part, but on your part too, because it gives you clear, non-debatable boundaries, and it's up to you to enforce them after there's a clear crossing of them. Okay, so that's something to consider. What else? Let's see. Just things that I choose. You know, I decide that I want to work on. I want to go for my Reiki Masters very soon. I'm Reiki 2 certified. If I haven't said anything to you all about that quite yet. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my flowers, and it looks like my flowers are just about ready to die, so I'm going to get some more. I get fresh flowers every now and then and put in my room. Excuse me. Fresh flowers every now and then and put in my room, so, you know, it livens up the place. And, yeah, it's just a lot of that. I write down what I see in my meditations, my releases for the full moon. I have books in here that I utilize for healing. I have a acupressure for emotional healing book that I'm just starting to dive into. And if you don't know, once again, I am in school for alternative and holistic medicines at Everglades University, and I'm getting ready to take a break. I just had my last class this week, and I'm taking a break till spring because I am tired. It's something about this time of year that is just a weight. But I'm in my junior year, and I'm working on that. But anyway, I say that to say acupuncture is one of the classes that I'm going to be going over. So I'm going to learn the areas in which, you stick the needles and those type of things. But I also have the book for acupressure, because I have this thing, y'all. I don't like needles like that. I've never liked needles. I've been in the military and they'll shoot you up with anything. But I am not I am not a fan of needles. I am not doing that. So I think I'm going to prefer acupressure. So yes, there's a lot of things in here. I have like I said, my goals for myself, for my business, for my kids, where I decide to have them at. Shadow work. And a lot of open, honest conversation, because sometimes this is what brain dumping does for me, or automatic writing does for me. It gets to the nitty gritty, because there are times where I will say a thing and I realize that this thing that I'm holding on to is a societal standard. It's not really what I desire right now. Like, for example, I was married for 10 years, got a divorce, and, as a single mom, sometimes it's looked upon like, oh, maybe you need to find a man in order to X, Y, and Z, woo, woo, woo. I'm like, being married is a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? And when you, kind of like how people talk about business, is like, if you are doing something that you love, you never work a day in your life. But right now, not even but right now, just if I'm being honest with myself, I'm focused on my business. If an awesome man come, into my space, I already read you my experiences. You feel me? So it's not gonna be no half stepping. It's not gonna be playing around in my face, and it's, you don't have to be a butthole about it either. Like, there's a difference between holding to a standard and being a butthole. Brokey, ooh, like, no, you girl, you don't have to do that. Just say that's not your type, or I appreciate the experience, but I don't think this is going to work out. You don't have to be a butthole about it. But also, instead of listing a person's credentials, list the personality traits of the individual that you would like. That's another tip of the trade. Like, instead of saying, I want a rich man who got, look for a man who is generous, ambitious, kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe has two parents or has a certain level of understanding when it comes to love. Have those hard conversations up front. I don't know why this is a love conversation. Maybe it's because that's where a lot of my own personal shadow work has come in, because this has been like years of cultivating, creating, getting clarity on I think that's it. But I think Spirit just wanted me to share this with you, because I need you to understand the individuals that I am looking for forward to being a blessing to being a benefit to being an aid to being a coach to, are women who know they don't have it all together, who don't feel like they know everything. The only thing they know is that they're tired of what it is that they're going through, and they want to find and pinpoint that area in their life where they change and do something different. Those are the individuals that I'm looking for. They can be single moms, military veterans, individuals who have had mental health issues as well. Like I said, here I am, a whole business owner, and Every now and then I have I don't want to say a lapse in memory, but like, sometimes I have short-term memory, or, I'm talking and like I said, I forget what I was getting ready to say. But the beautiful thing about having a connection with God, having a connection with spirit, anything that you need to know, it'll come right back to you. I'm learning that the stories in the Bible, and again, I'm spiritual. I identify more with the hermetic and scientific and psychological side of things, but I 1000% believe in and trust in the source of all that is, okay, which is God to most people, but I like to be more specific, the source of all that is, because that means something, I don't want to say completely different. God is God, but everybody keeps saying, well, people keep saying you worship God, but what God? I'm like, y'all, a lot of people don't even say the name. Like, people, you are Orishas, you got Oshun, that is the name of a God. You got Yemaya, that is the name of a God. But in the Bible, it's just God. Just God. It really be anybody. So, just ask those questions. That's why they, say Jehovah and Yahweh, and So to me, I'm like, all right. Yeah, I think everybody should be specific in this day and age, because if you've had some experiences like I've experienced, baby, some people really don't know who they be calling on for real. But that's neither here nor there. But I bring up the Bible to say the experiences of King David and Goliath. He might have been the least of these, the youngest of these, but he got the job done. Moses, he might have been the least of these. He had a stutter, I believe. And you're like, God, you want me to come up and start seeing all these things, preaching, threatening Pharaoh, da 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 da? That's what I called you to do. That's how I feel. I'm not perfect, but I have walked through the pits of hell, clawed my way out, and now my hair is done and I have really cool glasses. Okay, so I based on my experiences and other qualifications and the backing of source itself, that is what makes me qualified to aid, help, and to develop other women that are like me. Okay, so there's that. Let's see, I don't know if I have affirmations that I want to share with you guys. So I'm actually working on an ebook, okay? And this is, I'm gonna hype myself up because it's gonna sound real simple. It's a book of affirmations, right? Because the issue with a lot of affirmations, and people have, figured this out, but the issue with affirmations is that when you say certain things and your mind and your body doesn't believe it, it's ineffective. Like, if you have, 2 pennies to rub together and don't have a pot to piss in, it's really hard for you to look in the mirror and say, I am rich. Where I'm developing a new way of writing and speaking affirmations. And it's very simple. It's not woo-woo, it's not mystical and magical, but it's something that allows for your brain to start to think and create an answer. So you know how people say, there are YouTube affirmations right now that's like, I am rich. Isn't it wonderful? And it's like, okay. Okay. And then it kind of makes you think, like, what would I do if I was rich? you know, and they kind of start to help open up the mind. But I'm rephrasing that and reframing it so that these affirmations can truly bypass your subconscious and allow for your brain to go into problem solving mode. Does that make sense? So it's like you ask yourself a question and it allows for your brain to start to slowly come up with an answer for those things. And I think it's going to be amazing. I'm not going to share right now because Spirit is like, nope, not yet. And because I'm speaking on it right now and I put it out in the atmosphere, I need to get it out now before somebody else does it. But I do have some I am affirmations. And I'll share this one here. It says, I embrace the journey of self-discovery with an open heart. It's that open heart part that really, to me, speaks directly to it, because it's like, I embrace the journey of self-discovery. There's a lot of people who are too tired or not even interested enough in, you know, learning themselves. There's people, like I have friends who are mothers of multiple people and they're working 10 hours a day, and it's like, what do you mean self-discovery? I'm just happy to brush my teeth every day. You know what I mean? Like we really do live. Some people, there's a level of disconnect that can happen sometimes, but you have people over here, and then you have people that's really here grinding, doing the best that they can, and they feel like they don't have enough time in the day to do certain things. It's doing things as simple as taking care of themselves, checking in with their body, like, how am I feeling today? Those individuals is like, if you listen to the live reading yesterday, we talked about listening to your body and sitting down voluntarily before your body sits you down. Okay. Burps of confirmation. That's for somebody. That's for somebody. But I feel like that with an open heart allows for you to open yourself to experiences. Even if you're not out looking for the experiences, if you have an open heart, it just allows for you to be able, it opens up your radius, it expands your awareness to be able to receive things other than what you're used to, if that makes sense. So just adding little things like that, to me, help. But that's not one of the ones I'm going to put in my book, so I'm okay with sharing that. My little gemstone. Let's see. Here's another one. I am confident in my ability to create the life I deserve. Let me explain something to you. I am confident in my ability to start over. Have you ever been like what seems to be rock bottom and you built yourself up again, and then something happens and, you know, life get to happening again, and then you build yourself back up, and then life get to happening again and you build yourself back up? If absolutely nothing else, you can trust your ability to get back up. You can trust your ability to build. You can trust your ability to your resilience and your ability to sustain yourself in adversity. So if you can do that, literally the very next step, the tweak in that is, I am confident in my ability to create the life that I desire. Let that penetrate. I am confident in my ability to create the life that I desire, because you are already confident in the ability to get back up again. You are confident in the ability to reset and restore your life. When you had to leave that divorce, you reset yourself. When you ended up having to leave that house, you got yourself and you were able to get another place to stay. You were able to move in with a family member and then move back out into your own personal space. Whatever it is you had to do. There's people out here who used to live in their cars and then finally got their own apartment. There were people who lost their jobs and now they have 3 streams of income. If you have the ability to bounce back like that, then you have the ability to create the life that you desire. How far-fetched is that? It's not. That's not far-fetched. I'm just saying. This affirmation book about to go hard. And it's going to be ebooks. It's going to be ebooks. They're not going to be, I'm not going to knock y'all over the head with these things. But, yeah, it's definitely something that has been on my heart to do, because I am seeing the change of affirmations in my own life. And once I figured out how to make them work for me, at a minimum to build my confidence, at a minimum to build my awareness and build my mental fortitude and build, I already said confidence, but the confidence is not just my confidence within, to step out into the world. My confidence to be able to build this business. My confidence to be able to speak up and be the change that I want to see in this world and in this life. You know what I'm saying? The confidence to come up here as I am with the crazy glasses and the nose ring. I used to have an eyebrow ring. Like, the confidence to know and understand, regardless of my past, I belong here. I am here. And that is what I'm offering to other people. Make sense? Oh, man. I've got content that I plan to post here. Some for TikTok. All that type of stuff. So, yes, I really hope. I know this has been like an hour. Hold on. Rutro. Who's this? Who did? Dun, dun. Oh, hi. Yeah, that's what it was. Me too. So that's that. So, with that being said, I think we are going to get into some readings right now. Okay, this deck right here has been calling my name. This is the Sacred Destiny, and I've been feeling I do want to do some shadow work readings with the collective. If anyone comes in, please remember I'm doing free readings. You get a reading, and you get a reading, and you get a reading. I'm doing free readings for the collective, and tell a friend to tell a friend. The only thing I ask is for a follow, and if you enjoyed the reading, maybe a tip. But nah, whatever spirit want, baby, is what we doing. I heard blue face, baby. Blue is my favorite color, so in my mind I say that a lot as a joke to myself. So I think that was like more of a inside joke for me. We're not invoking his frequency because that man's a nut. But yes. So I'm just gonna cleanse my hands and my aura. I've got some. I know that seems like absolutely ridiculous, but the energy and the menthol and everything that comes out of that stuff is heavy, and it does a really good job of cleansing my aura. But I have a rose incense, so we're going to add a little bit of love, but this is going to be representative of self-love. This is going to be representative of love from the source of all that is. Self-love. Oh yeah, my energy done changed. Here we go. Let's get it. 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 Okay, so it's giving. Let's see what the collective has in store for the end of October. We're going to get into the shadow work, but I'm feeling like, based on everything I just said, you guys' minds are going. You guys' minds are expanding. You guys' minds are thinking beyond your current situation. You're intrigued. I almost want to say you're ready, but you have some reserves, but you're open. That's the word I want to say. You guys are open. In a very open space right now. You're open, you're curious. Signs and wonders. Let's go. Alright, Spirit. Give me 3 cards for what we can expect for the collective for end of October. What is the end of? Whoa. Okay, well, I'm going to put that at the top. Release. Power, pleasure, and trust. There's something going in the astrology, by the way. I'm not an astrologist. I'm working on having an understanding of that, so we know what outside energies are contributing to the energy and the things that we might be feeling inside. And side note, for people who may or may not understand the influence of celestial bodies, aka planets, perspective. If you have a best friend and it can be put on your spirit, your best friend might be having a bad day and you don't know it, but it's put on your spirit to give them a call, their energy influenced you to contact and communicate with them. So if that can happen on a small level, you and them, and sometimes that can take place on different parts of the world, why do you not think that another huge energetic body could possibly have any effect on you? If the moon has an effect on the tides on the earth, why do you not think that there are other celestial bodies could have an effect on you? Just ponder that for a little bit. Keep that in mind. Son, is that you crying? Why? Because your hands keep getting tired? What number are you on? 172? At 172, you can stop. But I want you to remember how your hands feel, because that's a part of your punishment. So while you're crying, I want you to keep in mind that these are the consequences of your actions. Do you understand? I love you. And we can make better choices next time, okay? All right. Mommy do these. Anyway. So, positivity. There's something going on with astrals. I don't know what it is. I'm not an astrologer. But it is promoting an energy of release. Okay. Releasing of burdens, releasing of emotions, releasing of thought processes that don't help you to get that no longer serve you, outdated programs, outdated thought processes, it reassessing the it's showing up as boundaries. I'm gonna just speak, and then hopefully it'll check. This is I feel like a rock right there, and I'm just like, there's something that I'm not, pluck that rock out of the way. There's something that's not quite collecting, but it feels like a boundary. Assessing all the boundaries that you've put up in this life, because it's almost the difference between you protecting yourself from the world, but you also breaking and isolating yourself and keeping yourself stuck within, if that makes sense. So there are things that you've put in place. There are thought processes that you have that worked at a time, but now have become a hindrance. There are situations, there are people that have been in your space that you may have outgrown, thought processes, conversations that you were used to having, and now there are things that are going on with you where you're realizing that's not what you want to do, that's not what you want to talk about, that's not what you want to participate in anymore. For me, I'm realizing that I'm drinking a lot less. Like I used to, being prior military, I used to drink a lot. I might drink 1/4 of the amount that I used to drink. It's just something that's been slowly coming out of my system. So habits, you know, there's a release going on in that, and I'm seeing power, pleasure, and trust. For this power card, okay, I don't know if I showed you the release, but boom, release. Ooh, changes of the seasons. Yeah, letting go of some things. But with this power card, it's giving external higher power energy. The changes that you are feeling are not just coming from you. It is being divinely guided for you to get rid of these things so that you can fall into alignment with something else. Falling into the things that you once considered to be pleasurable. You're finding out what that truly means to you. This pleasure card isn't a bad thing. Things that you used to find fun are no longer fun, but you're finding joy and pleasure in other things. So you're really starting to, as you release these things and you're learning yourself and you're assessing the things that you have in place in your life, you really realize that this wasn't even my idea. Who told me that this was something that I'm supposed to like, something that I care? So you're really getting to the root of what it is that you truly like, what you truly desire, the things that, like Spirit said before, when I was talking about the single moms, what word did I use? It was like a level of self-care or something like that. It's like finding out what it is that you truly like and desire for yourself. Self-discovery. Thank you. See, I told you, every time I forget, Spirit be on it. Level of self-discovery and what it is that looks like. And then if you take a look at this right here, the ground and everything is illuminated, but the sky is dark. And that represents your subconscious minds and represents you taking the time to really dig deep into the mind, really dig deep into your past, really dig deep into who you are, and those baseline thoughts that have created the basis and the foundation of the life that you're currently living, and seeing if there's a way that you can readjust and realign and truly step into your most authentic self, if that makes sense, and following through and trusting the process. Because again, this one right here shows the depth of your thought process. It shows the depth of, you figuring out who you are. And that's also, again, that's what the storm is too. These clouds are coming in and forming, which is spirits creating a situation in your life that is forcing you to look at what it is that you have going on for and with yourself and around you in order to truly step to your most authentic self, and then trusting that process. So it's almost like you've been getting these desires to release and you've been changing it. You're like, I don't even know where this is coming from. Like, is nobody else feeling these changes? Nobody else wanting to do X, Y, and Z? Like, everybody, y'all still feel like you still drinking? You still feel like you want to drink? Because I don't really feel, it's just me. You know what I mean? It's like this gradual, smooth change. And you're like, maybe you're realizing it's happening, maybe you're not, but it's like, okay, it's making you a little nervous. Like, okay, I'm gonna follow through though, but this is beginning to be a little out of character for me. But what it truly is not that it's out of character for you, it's who you truly are, because you're releasing these thought forms, you're releasing these limiting belief systems, you're releasing your attachment to certain people, places, things, and thoughts that used to hold you back. And sometimes I always say that healing is just small moments, small realizations. And when you take those small realizations and you internalize them and you actually do something with them, you take them and you change your behavior, you change your thoughts, that's when you start to see your outside match your inner world. Does that make sense? So now you're in a situation where you are meant to trust source in changing your situation and turning what seems like a mess, turning what seemed to be confusion into your oasis. And how do you figure that out? You follow your pleasure. You go through the process of self-discovery. What is it that I like? What is it that's bringing me joy? What is it that I want to do for myself? What is it that I want to do for my children? Heavy on what it is that you want to do for yourself though. Okay, I'm all about doing what it is that you need to do for your children. But something that I'm learning is as above, so below, so within, so without. So if you want to live an extravagant lifestyle, you have to feel it within first. You have to adopt it within first. You have to change it in here first. And it's hard. I have an understanding of it, but I'm unable to regurgitate it to you at this time. But my advice is for you to look up the law of correspondence on YouTube. The as above, so below, so within, so without. And long story short is just saying, like, the things, for everything that you have going on the inside, there's something on the outside that match. Everything that goes on in the heavens, there's something here on earth that matches that. There's a level of correspondence. So as above, so below, so within, so without. And the videos go into way more detail. But anyway, once you truly start to understand where you are and embody these changes, be confident in those changes, and allow it to take you the places that you desire to go, because there is a boat in the background and it doesn't look like it's shipwrecked. It looks like it's floating. It's floating, and it's being and the water is being lit by the moon. The moon is sometimes represents the unknown. It represents the subconscious mind as well. So we've got flow. So again, that just clarifies, going with the flow. Going with the flow. Trust in spirit in the direction in which is asking you to go. Wow. Okay. So I'm grabbing out the bottom of the deck, and the downloads are coming quicker than I can handle it, man. Good grief. And we have leadership right here. And what this represents to me is not necessarily like it represents you taking control of your life. To me, it's you taking control of your life and leading yourself where it is that you desire to go. If the people around you choose to come with you, great. If not, that's cool too. My mentor usually says either you, as you decide, as you truly grow and develop into the person that you are, either your friends raise their vibration with you, or you end up changing your friends. So you change your friends, raise them up, or you change your friends, get rid of them. Okay? I hate to say it like that, but it's true. And then we have taking risks and purification. So with taking risk, I feel like this is your energy, in the sense of, this is new for me. So I feel like this is risky business. I'm not really sure how to go about this. I'm not really sure what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, but birth to confirmation. But you're taking that risk to see what this is about. You know what I mean? Like, what I was doing before wasn't getting me to where I'm trying to go. So I'm going to see what's out there. I'm going to see what, make it do what it do. There's an eagle. Or is that an owl? No, that's an eagle. That's an eagle. Eagles represents strength, being bold, trying new things. But also I thought it was an owl. An owl represents wisdom and new knowledge. So utilizing the new knowledge of self that you have gathered from now until the end of the month, you're going to take a chance or take a risk in displaying your most authentic self, which represents the purification here. Okay. And what is special about sunflowers is that sunflowers do this thing where they point to the sun. So no matter where the sun is in the sky, the sunflower follows it. So what that tells me is, as you decide to shine and show your most authentic self, your people, and this, look at what's on the bottom of the deck, community, your people, those new friends that maybe you were afraid of getting rid of, your community is going to find you. So you're going to end up finding a whole new tribe, a whole new group of people that love you and embrace you just as you are. They may be, I just got a vision of somebody who stopped smoking. Like, maybe you were at a job and at one point, it was a group activity for everybody to go outside and smoke at the same time. And then it's like, I don't really want to do that anymore. Looking at you like, oh, you think you better than us? And it's like, no, that's just not something I want to do anymore. I'm finding out that this is what it does. I don't like the smell. Sometimes you just wake up and it's just not you anymore. And that's okay. And there are going to be people who may not agree with that. They may not like it. They may judge you for wanting to do something different. And again, like I said, it's not a matter of being better or doing better or whatever. It's just, I'm just not about that life anymore. But look at them like children and forgive them. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Because time is an illusion. So you're never too late. Okay? Forgive yourself for feeling like you wasted time. You could have been, somewhere else. You could, if you had started sooner, you would have been somewhere else. No. Divine timing is at play. Okay? It's always at play. So you're never too late. All right? So anything that comes up, forgive yourself for ruining relationships based on old thought patterns. Forgive yourself for accepting things that you knew were lesser than you as you continue to thrive and figure out, who you are as a person. And then again, that represents that release card as you continue to remember who you are, because that's what it is, remembering who you are. Remembering, as in putting the pieces of you back together. There are going to be some things that you realize that you are not so proud of, and that's okay. All right. So I am going to hold it right there, so I don't end up going too crazy. But that's part of what you can expect for the month of October, for the rest of the month. Expecting big change, expecting to be led out of, you know, old thought processes and belief, expecting to, you know, change and deciding to do something different. And, you know, maybe not everybody agrees with this new thing that you're doing, but it's okay, because you're also going to find people that do. You shining your most authentic self, you discovering your most authentic self, you being who you are. Isn't there like a Leo moon or something? Isn't there like a moon in Leo or something coming up at the end of the month? Because, you know, Leos shine bright. Leos, do they thug dizzle? They could care less. I said shine bright, illumination. So, check and see if there's a Leo moon in this month. But yeah, that's what it's giving. I'm trying to see if Spirit wants to add anything to that. I don't know. I'm feeling like blessings on the bottom of the deck. I honestly feel like that's the message. That is what you can expect, because it's going to look different for everybody. How this shows up is going to look different for everybody. I did give a couple of examples. Spirit, do you have anything else from this deck? Okay. Anything else? Okay. So, parting message is diligence and voyage. Both of them look like they're traveling somewhere, whether by air or sea. Both of them are actually air, because I think the whales are in the air. The big whale is holding the little whale. And what that represents to me is Spirit or God leading you in the direction that you're meant to go. Like, you're going to feel like you're free falling. You're going to feel like you have no guidance. You're going to feel like you have no top cover. Meanwhile, Spirit is right there with you. Meanwhile, Source is right there with you. You may not feel like it, but you're actually going to be divinely guided through this whole thing. So all Spirit is asking is for you to do your due diligence, to truly heal, to take this opportunity to really dive deep and release, to cry, forgive, heal, all those things. Because the more you take this time to rest and embark on this journey and truly do the work to bring those deep-rooted emotions, thoughts, hurts, and pains up, cry it out, release it, let it go. The more you do that, the more space you have to receive and figure out what it is that you do desire and that you do want for yourself. It makes room for other blessings. Uprooting the old friends makes more room for new friends. Getting rid of your old bad habits make room for new habits. You might have stopped smoking, but that time that you stop smoking, maybe you incorporate doing 25 push-ups every time you think about smoking. So now, you big and strong, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I'm getting. And I'm seeing somebody, excuse me. And I'm seeing somebody like get into a brand new car. It's like they're very clean, they're very manicured, they're chilling, and they're like waving to their other rich friends while getting into like this bright yellow Lamborghini type situation. Like, what you do today is going to affect what it is that you do tomorrow. And when you don't take the time to do your due diligence, that is the risk that you're running. That is, you're risking forfeiting your abundance, forfeiting your wealth, forfeiting your future when you don't do what it is that you need to do right now. And sometimes, to be very clear, sometimes that doing is not necessarily action. It doesn't mean burn yourself out. It doesn't mean go, do, be in everybody's face, work yourself to the bone, get 12 jobs. No, sometimes it's simply ensuring that you have the capacity to hold the blessings that you're asking for. It's learning a new skill to be able to be qualified for what it is that you're asking for. So if you want to be a doctor or a nurse, or you have this thing where you really and truly want to help people, is there a certification program for that? Is there some beautiful YouTube videos you can watch for that? Do you have some friends that you can talk to? Is there some people you can link up with? If you're trying to get a new house, are you just on Zillow, or are you doing word of mouth? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there might be some information that you need to find out. There may be some things that you need to release. Like, say, for example, if you're looking to get a new home, or you're looking for somebody to buy the home that you're in right now, just processes. Okay, I'll pull the tarot. I'll pull tarot, because now it's starting to get a little intricate. Like, so what is it that we need to pay attention to, Spirit, in order to be able to receive the blessings that you have in store for us from October and beyond? Because this is just October. This is just what October looks like, and the process of healing, and the things that you're going to experience in October. So what exactly are we looking for? What are we working towards? What are we looking to do? Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck, ensuring that we don't beat ourselves. I've got the Seven of Swords. Didn't I just say ensuring that we don't beat ourselves? So the Five of Swords is the card of, okay, I won, but at what cost? So it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like, okay, this is a unfulfilled victory. And the Seven of Swords, with the fox on it, it represents being sly. It represents not seeing the full picture. It represents somebody maybe doing some manipulation. Robbery, somebody taking something from you, somebody, and when I say taking something from you, I mean like somebody being sneaky, or taking something from underneath your nose, if you will. And what that's saying to me is, you're the one that's going to rob yourself of the blessing that you truly deserve. Trying to be sneaky, or trying to half do the work, trying to cut corners. Yeah. So don't do that. Then you've got the Six of Cups. I love this because this is representative of the Three Little Bears. Here, the Six of Cups can represent nostalgia. It can represent old people, places, things. It can represent inner child healing. So again, remember I said going into the depths of oneself, going to the roots, going to the foundation, going to the basis of where these thought processes came from, to come pull them and uproot those negative energies, those negative thought processes, those negative experiences, crying it out, releasing them, doing what you have to do Yes. You can have everything it is that you desire, but if you don't take care of these self-limiting beliefs, you're going to be your only hang up. So, as big as this lion is, it's in this cage. The reason that it's in this cage is because it put itself in this cage. Is because it doesn't believe that it can get out of said cage. Usually the eight of swords is representative of, it can be mental health issues, but it can also represent self-sabotage, blame, refusing to see the solutions in the situation, stuff like that. And yeah, long story short, this cage is an illusion for that lion. And again, that looks like a female lion, so that's feminine energy. So oh, hold on, there's something coming with that. So feminine energy is also associated with your subconscious mind. So this is a representation of your subconscious mind being blocked, being incarcerated, being locked up, because you didn't take the time out, do your due diligence to truly expand oneself, to figure out what your pleasures were in real life. And the Ten of Pentacles is representative of wealth, privilege, longevity, and legacy. So if you do not do this, like I said, you're forfeiting your birthright. You're forfeiting the things that you desire. You're forfeiting your future. That is what is at stake here. So go ahead and start wrapping this up. Okay. I don't know. I don't feel like there's any more messages. Let me take a little break. I feel like I've been talking for quite some time. Let's see what we got. Okay. I just had somebody ask about the readings. I don't feel like there's any Spirit, is there anything else you want to add to this? Oh. I'm sorry, it's a lot of energy, like pulling energy for the collective. I don't see how people do this for long periods of time, because I'm tapped into a lot of people's journeys right now, and this is a timeless reading. Of course, the astrology is doing what it's doing, but at any given time, you could pull up to this. You can get there. Everybody is on their own timeline. So this is a hi girl, hey. Did you want to be in the video? Did you want to be here and do a live? Hey girl. Did you want to be here? Is that what you're doing? Because I just finished up a collective reading. And if you would like a free live reading, we can definitely do that, my dear. What you want to do? I got transformation at the bottom of the deck. Oh yeah. It's like, nah, I don't. I'm gonna listen. Okay, so you don't want to Okay, so to be clear, in order for you to get a free live reading, you don't have to join on camera at all. Girl, it's too late here on the East Coast. I want to say it's already like 10 o'clock. Okay. Girl, it's 11 o'clock. This is the time people be in the bed. Okay. I'm the only one up crazy still with all my clothes on. I came up here the other day with some pajamas on. I ain't gonna cap. Okay. But if you would still like a reading, I'm doing shadow work reading. I already gave the spiel. Spirit wants me to do live readings today, preferably readings that will set people on a path to greatness, preferably readings. You look nice. Thank you. Preferably readings that can help to identify self-limiting beliefs, readings that can help to pinpoint what's going on in the person's life so that they can it's like a domino effect. You ever see like dominoes going, and if you knock one over, it's going to continue to knock dominoes over? Well, what Spirit wants me to do is to find a domino and knock it out, so that whatever it is that a person is doing in their life, they can stop it and have a new path, have a new journey, do something different. You know what I'm saying? And I need to clear some more energy because this energy is very heavy. I feel like there's a lot of people doing a lot of the same things right now and going through the same journey. And I'm picking up on that. So I need to do a little shaky shake, girl. Yeah. Do a little shaky shake. But it's up to you. No pressure. I am going to sit here, probably grab me a couple of my chocolate covered almonds I got over here, and then I'm going to do a collective shadow work reading. A collective shadow work reading. I want to pull out the big guns right here. Also, if anybody else does tarot, if you go into not the link in my bio, the bio site link. I have a bio site link, bio.site /transformational Empress. And if you go there, you will see a list of tarot decks. It'll say decks I love, I own, and recommend. And decks I own and recommend. And you can pick up your own deck if you like any of the decks that I'm using currently. Okay, so we've got this one here. I'm gonna take a couple sips of my little drinky drink. It's not a drinky drink. It's actually cranberry juice and cherry tart juice. It's called a superfood juice. I feel like one is pointing in the wrong direction. Uncertainty and forgiveness. That's crazy. I was just talking about doing shadow work for the collective, and uncertainty and openness. What is that? No. And forgiveness. And forgiveness came out on the last reading too. So we can already see we're in alignment. We are in alignment. And this is the Soul Mirror Oracle. What I love about this is it gives you a title, and then it gives you two different polarities of said title. And I think it's really, really clever, and helps and allows you to expand on your perspectives on things. Oh yeah, the energy is changing. Ooh. Yes. Have to get that up out for me. But I love it. The artwork on these are very detailed, very deep. Very detailed and very deep. Remember I said shadow work for the collective, shadow work, blessings. I'm trying to tell you, this October is a time for shadow work. It is really a time for introspection, because I think the introspection that you do right now is actually going to be the catalyst or the catapult for whatever happens for you in November. So it's looking like harvest time. I like those cards. You were doing good. I love it. Okay. Oh, you love the cup? Girl, I got this cup from Five Below. Five Below. One of my favorite cups. It has a lid and a straw and everything, but I broke it. I dropped the cup and cracked the lid. But the cup is still in good shape, so that's what it is. That's what it is. Alright, Divine Spirit, Holy Spirit, Source of all that is. First of all, I ask that you cleanse and clear the energy in this room. Cleanse and clear the energy in this reading. Only truthful and honest messages for the collective, for my peeps, for those that are here to heal, those that need a word. Let's give it to them, Spirit. Let's give it to them. What is it that the collective needs to focus on the most from now till the end of October? Can I get 3? Oh, whoa, whoa. You're doing too much. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put some of these back. Yeah. I can see how these can be relevant, but it's a lot. So we're going to try this again, Spirit. Can we try this again? Can I get 3 cards? Truthful and honest messages on what the collective, aka my peeps, need to know, learn, or expand upon from now till the end of October. 2 of the same cards ended up coming out. 1 more, Spirit. We've got intuition and we've got sadness. So again, that corresponds with the reading that I did the last time about healing. Yep. 3 of the same cards, which means the other parts are probably going to come out anyway too. So we've got intuition. So what this is telling me is that the collective needs to come up with a clear direction on what it is that it wants. Again, according to the last reading, we talked about pleasure. Excuse me. Gosh, I'm getting so many burps. We spoke about pleasure, and we spoke about the things like realizing what it is that truly drives us, the things that we truly desire, the things that we truly love, like, and the things that motivate us to keep going. And there seems to be some confusion. And when I say confusion, it's like a matter of you thinking you don't know what it is that you desire, but you actually do. It seems unclear because you might not like what is coming up, or maybe that thing that you desire is a bit unorthodox, if that makes sense. For example, I grew up in the church, and I became a tarot reader. You get what I'm saying? Like, wow, that's a little contradictory. How did I get here? You know, like it's one of those type of things. So it's not necessarily, as you can see, the words down at the bottom is clear and confused. Like it's not that you're confused. You actually know exactly what it is that you want to do, exactly what it is that you desire, and because it's maybe a little bit more unexpected, or maybe it just dawned on you after you did that inner work to remove and reveal your true, honest, raw, vulnerable self, that you're like, I don't know. And then this one says sadness, defensiveness, or listening. Defensiveness or listening. You know what it is that you desire and you want to do, but you don't really know what it is that you don't know how people are going to respond. So you have a little bit of anxiety, you have a little bit of sadness, you have a little bit of stress, heartbreak, because now you found this thing it is that you desire, you're confused by it because you don't know how other people. Number one, you're still trying to understand what it is that you're feeling about it yourself, and then two, in order for you to live your most authentic self and present yourself more authentically, there's a possibility that you have to open up to criticism, to situations that may require you to be more defensive. However, the opposite side of that is, instead of you looking and observing situations in which you would have to be defensive, maybe observe or manifest situations in which people are willing to listen. People are willing to hear you out on what it is that you truly desire. Hey, I noticed that you've been doing tarot cards lately. Hey, I noticed that you've been posting videos about the end of the world lately. Hey, I realized that you've been posting things about blah blah blah. Like, what is that about? What does that do for you? What does that feel like? And instead of people feeling as though they have to defend their position, well, I don't think that, but I don't think da. You may experience both polarities, but what's the saying? The people that matter don't mind, and the people that mind don't matter. It's going to be those type of situations that are going to reveal to you who are truly your friends and who are not your friends, if that makes sense, and who's truly rooting for you and who's not. This next card is called the Creatress, and it says uninspired or creative. So are you guys coming out of the spiritual closet? Like, it just seems like that's the example that's coming up out of the spiritual closet. Maybe you are developing yourself as a practitioner of some sort. Maybe you have this wacky creative way of cooking. You have this wacky creative way of doing something, and you're realizing that you like it. And in order for you to really flourish and put yourself out there, you may have to open yourself up to some disappointment, some alternative views. But in order for you to show up as your most authentic self as a creatress, you can't be afraid to create. Let's see here. Because what are that's the internal work right there, honestly. It's figuring out who you are truly and living in that authenticity, and not being concerned about what others have to say to you about it. Because if you look at this woman's face, it at first glance it looks indifferent, but then there's a part of her that looks kind of proud at what it is that's happening. Like, she has something in her hand. She has this offering. She has this thing that she created, and she's just watching it dwell and expand and float around, and the ideas are just coming and swirling, and she's just like, so to me, it's a level of being proud and yet nervous to reveal or expose yourself in a certain way. I always make this joke, and it'll be interesting to see. Is anybody okay? Everybody, write down in the comments what this is. Okay, are you feeling this energy? Because I'm seeing it as, a spiritual journey, or some type of path, or some type of lifestyle, or some type of fulfilling life purpose, or something that you are feeling that you can't express yourself with. And I'm hearing spiritual journey, I'm hearing job, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm hearing dominatrix. Like, it's something, it may not actually be a dominatrix, but it's something unorthodox, like selling toe pictures, or exploring a certain world or a certain lifestyle. But in order for you to be able to experience said lifestyle, you have to put yourself out there so the people that are in the lifestyle can actually get a hold of you, type situation. And again, no judgment. But I am very much so interested to see, what this is and how it shows up for you. I'm going to do 3 more cards here. And I'm not going to lie, because the heaviness of these readings, I might have to get out. Wish. The difference between being desperate and hopeful. Ooh. Let's see. 2 more, Spirit. Thank you. Learning. I told you. And cultivation at the bottom of the deck. So, under intuition, we have wish. Meaning, like I said, you know exactly what it is that you want to do, but it makes you nervous to be able to do so. And then right under wish, you have despairing or hopeful, meaning that there's a thought process. There's something within you that's like, okay, hold on. It's something that you want to do. It's something that you want to create. It's something that you want to manifest, but you're doing your best to balance it so that you're not creating from a space of lack. Does that make sense? It's the difference between I embody rich energy, therefore money comes to me easily, money comes to me fast, versus I'm doing 20 rituals a week so that I can manifest and bring money in because I need this money by tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? It's the mindset. It's the mindset behind what it is that you're trying to do and manifest. And then we've got sadness with defensive and listening. And then we have learning, rejecting, and accepting. And again, this is where the learning comes in. So remember the conversation I just had about the views of other people. The views of other people making you feel like you have to defend yourself and defend your position in whatever it is that you're going through. Or maybe somebody is actually listening. So if you look, this young lady has her hands, and then the universe has its hands around the eyes. Do you see that? And it's like the young lady is forced to trust the process. Like, I don't know what is going to be the result of me coming out. I don't know what the result of me doing what it is that I need to do. I don't know how people are going to react, but I'm going to have to trust it. It's going to be a learning curve. Sometimes I might get it right. Sometimes I might get it wrong. Sometimes I might cut somebody out because I'm defensive about what it is that I'm trying to do new. And I'm trying to, protect my energy and protect my peace and make sure that I'm doing X, Y, and Z. When really and truly the person was really wanting to have a conversation with you and maybe listen to your perspective and be a little bit more accepting and not rejecting of your point of view of whatever you're trying to do and talk about. But it also has something to do with you accepting versus rejecting your own beliefs, your own projects that you're trying to do. Because again, with this intuition card, you already know what it is you want to do. You are just a little confused, or you create a fog, or you create an 8 of Swords moment. As I said, you create a blindfold over yourself. You create confusion because it's not something that you actually thought you wanted to do. It's like, I never thought I'd be in this position type situation. But it's something that you really want to do. It brings you joy. It brings you happy. It brings you purpose. But it's a little unorthodox. You feel me? And that's what it is. But the universe is asking you to trust. You might not be able to see what's happening, but allow this to be a learning experience, for you. What it says, walk by faith and not by sight. And that's what Spirit is asking you to do at this time from now until the end of October. And then we've got Creatress. Once again, Creatress, being in alignment with what it is that you're creating and allowing it to flourish. And then we have alignment right underneath it. So I also wonder if, are you afraid of coming out with whatever this is because you're still working out the ins and outs of it, if that makes sense. When I say the ins and outs, like, to me with this alignment card, it's like you are in alignment, but you want to ensure that whatever it is that you do stays in alignment. Like, you're doing whatever it is you're doing out of integrity. So say, for example, the example I'm getting right now is hair care products. Okay, you're coming out with a hair care product, and maybe the people in your circle are not, like, oh my gosh, she ain't nobody. Who is she to come out with a hair care product X, Y, and Z? So you're already nervous about what the people around you and in your neighborhood have to say about the hair care products. Maybe you just, figured out how to do your hair. Maybe your hair just finally started growing. They're like, who are you to, all of a sudden you want to be a hair guru and you just got hair 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I got hair 5 minutes ago because I developed this hair oil that caused my hair to grow. You know what I mean? Like, reaffirm yourself. But because you're looking for people to discredit what it is that you're doing, you are not you're resistant, you're putting up a boundary, I think it's a word that starts with the R. You're putting up a block, a restriction, something between you and those people. Like, you're already assuming that they're going to be on their BS. And now you're overthinking, because whatever it is you choose to do, like this hair product, you want to make sure that it's out of integrity, because it says distrust or truthful. You're protecting your energy. I said that earlier. You're going through the process of protecting your energy, because the more people come into your ear about, possibly discrediting what it is that you do, it makes you feel like a fraud, almost like imposter syndrome. That's it. That's it. Imposter syndrome. That's what it is. And the last card is cultivation. So you have a choice. You can either nurture your goals or you can neglect them. But your heart is in it. Look, you're holding your heart in your hand and you have these flowers. Flowers represent growth. It represents a process. It represents love. And sometimes it's given as a form of appreciation. This is your work and your appreciation to the world. This is how you give back. This is your purpose and what you're trying to do in order to give back. This is your purpose. This is what it is that you're putting out for the world. And that is why you are so, bird for confirmation. That's why you're so protective of it. Because you do truly desire to do it in integrity. So, like I said, you have a choice with the cultivation and neglect. All right, Spirit, give me one card of confirmation of what we can do in this, this time from now to October, to the end of October, to develop this, to cultivate this and fortify our own thoughts, our own mind in, our new creations, in our new beliefs, in the things that we truly desire to do for ourselves. And the answer to that was shadow work, which is 1000% why I'm here and what we're doing. Shadow work. Are you being negligent or loving towards yourself? Shadow work is not just pulling everything out and releasing. Sometimes it's getting to know yourself for real. And when I say that, I mean, if you know that you're the type of person that if you go to somebody's house and they're having a party and chips are your weakness, you know, I'll give you a better example. I'll give you a personal example. My daughter was attacked by a pit bull when she was 3 years old. I have family members, so that's part of my PTSD. With PTSD, you can know a thing, but your body can't tell the difference. I know that every dog on the planet is not the dog that did what it did to my daughter. My body don't give a fuck. Okay? Like, that's just being real. My body does not give a fat baby rabbit that it's not. So I get these charged feelings. I get an emotional reaction sometimes when I see dogs. And for that, I don't go nowhere with dogs. If I meet new people, I have new friends. Hey, y'all got dogs over there? Okay, well, I'm not coming. Just like that. That is me. It's two things can be true at the same time. I can know that every dog didn't do what it did to my baby. But I also know my body don't give. So I work around those provisions. And sometimes it can be hard things. Sometimes I don't go to family members' houses. Sorry, you know what I got going on. And instead of me coming to your house expecting for you to put your animals up, I'm not coming. I don't live there, the dogs do. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's looking in the mirror and walking hand in hand with your shadow. One day I'm going to release it. One day my mind and my body are going to be on one accord. And when I see a chihuahua, I'm not going to think it's the dog that did that to my baby, or it's going to be the same thing is going to happen again. It's going to come. It's going to align. That is something that is going to heal. But until then, I'm not putting my shadow on anybody else. It is me knowing me, what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do, because I'm not the one or the two to be messing with anybody's pets. Does that make sense? So shadow integration is also a thing. You might know that all men aren't the men that did X, Y, and Z to you. But for now, you're not comfortable being in certain spaces. So you go and you dwell where it's comfortable until you doing that becomes a wall that shuts you in. Because there's a difference between having a boundary that protects you and a wall that shuts you in and restricts you from doing the things that you actually need to do in your life. There's a difference. Okay? So I hope that clears it up for you. I just split the deck and I saw comfort. Do what you can. Okay? And I also see communication at the bottom. And then there's inner child. So along with that shadow work, make sure that you are being open and honest with yourself. Make sure that you are being vulnerable with yourself. And to be honest, I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience, but sometimes when I'm doing my shadow work and my meditations, I'll get to a point to where I ask myself a hard question and the answer will come, and then my ego will wipe it because it's trying to protect me. So what helps me is doing that brain dump, that therapeutic writing, that writing that I said earlier in the beginning of the video. That really does help to bypass your ego, because at that point it's almost like you're telling yourself a story. It's almost like it's running off the tongue, if you will. Divine Spirit, Holy Spirit, do you have anything else you want to, I see what deck they want me to use. Do you have any other messages? Clearly they do, because I have a deck. trying to ground myself, y'all. I am a Sagittarius sun and a Libra moon. When I tell you I get the fuel in myself and I get to being in my head, whew, I have to ground everything that comes. My girl, Melanated Queen, in the chat is also a Sagittarius. Big Sag in the building. Big Sag in the building. Alright, Spirit, what are any parting messages that you have for the collective at this time? In this particular deck, this is the Wandering Star deck. I love it because it's very direct. This is actually the deck that I communicate with my angels in my very serious, my very, what's the word? Not elevated, ascended, my ascended masters. This is the deck I communicate with my ascended masters with because they don't play, and neither does this deck. So I've got the Page of Pentacles here, which is representing a start, resources, yeah. There's some of you that feel like you don't have enough to start whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you feel like you're in the very, very, very beginning stages of what it is that you're trying to do. Just know that that is okay. Because in the process of you learning, in the process of you healing, in the process of you, you know, working towards your goal, that's when you're truly going to find your fulfillment. And once that fulfillment kicks in and you figure out how you're going to do that, or Spirit reveals to you how you're going to do that, you have the Lover's card. The Lover's card also represents alignment. I have the Ten of Wands up here. So I have the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands represents burden. It represents being overloaded. It represents being tired. It also represents the feeling of not being appreciated or not feeling appreciated. I think there's a level of feeling like I don't know if it's like feeling like you have a lot to do, feeling like yeah, it feels like your concern is, oh my gosh, there are things that I desire to do, but there's other things I have going on in my life. Am I going to have the momentum? Am I going to have the energy to be able to allocate to the things that I truly desire for myself? Because again, we are in a world right now where there's a lot of people who are unable, or who feel like they are unable to who feel like they are unable to take care of themselves or to put energy towards the things that truly bring them joy, because of all the things that they feel are mandatory to do. And I'm going to take another drink. Because of all the things that they feel are mandatory to do, all the things they feel like they have to do. So they've been putting their own joy and pleasure and peace on the back burner. But what Spirit is wanting you to know is, baby, you are in alignment. If you don't put this energy, this work, this stuff into it now, it's going to come and be a problem later. The High Priestess is usually a card of mystery, a card of secrets, a card of your subconscious, a card of your inner voice, dreams, and talking about the spirit world. But again, it's you. If you don't take care of it now, it's going to come up later. One way or another. One way or another. At least that's how I'm getting it. One way or another, you're going to end up having to address these things within you. Because Spirit is going to catapult you into greatness next month, whether you want to or not. That's what it looks like. If you are in my collective, if you are a part of my community, it's that time. It's that time. It's just that time to grow up, be up, buck up, create the world that you desire to see. But it starts here. It starts with a seed. Page of Pentacles. It starts with a seed. Now, again, we have the High Priestess, and then we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is representation of rest, recovery, quietness. It can also be a sign that you may end up having dreams to help clarify your intuition, clarify the things that it is that you truly desire to do, clarify and bring to your attention, especially with this High Priestess card and the Four of Swords being here together. It could represent you having prophetic dreams, or dreams about the things that you have been experiencing, the things that you need to heal. Spirit bringing it to your attention so that you actually take care of it. And then you have the King of Swords here. Last but not least, the King of Swords is usually a individual of decisiveness, power, influence, intelligence, very, very just, very fair, very direct. And I think that's the energy. I feel like that's the energy that Spirit is going to bring to you if you ignore the prompts to bring up this healing. And then not only that, with the King of Swords energy, I'm also feeling as though when you take the time to, sometimes it's not a matter of not having enough time to do so. It's you taking on things that you don't have to and spending valuable time doing things you don't necessarily need to do. So here you are feeling overwhelmed, burdened by, the things that are going on in life. But if you just take the opportunity and think like, what is it that I have to do and what is it that I don't have to do? What can I put to the side and utilize that energy, that time, that effort into doing the things that truly bring me joy? And a reference that is coming up is, especially for, I'm saying mothers because that is my experience. Especially for mothers, sometimes we give everything that we have and then we don't fill our cups back up. And then when we continue to try to maintain the level of giving that we've been doing, it seems like every little bit that we pour into ourselves, we're throwing it at everybody else. We're throwing it at the kids. We're throwing it at the bills. We're throwing it at the football game. We're throwing it at, you know what I mean? And then you don't end up doing anything for yourself. Or every time, you get this little bit of relief. You go and get your nails done, but now you have to gear up for a tournament for one of your kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, you thought you had to get a little bit of, something that really, something that I like to do. I like to go out to eat. As you can see, I like to go out to eat. Like having certain foods are like my peaceful place or my comfort zone. And sometimes I have to take my kids. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting ready to, get this. This is gonna feel good. I'm gonna get it, and then you still got to bring your kids, and they aggravate you the whole time. Or while you're eating your favorite meal, while you're eating your go-to meal, while you're eating your comfort meal. So it's like, even in times where I'm trying to take care of myself, I still have, it's not really for myself, if that makes sense. So taking the opportunity to find those places and spaces, like while the kids are in school, if you have a little bit of time, maybe get off from work a little bit early to have that meal by yourself and then go pick your kids up type deal. Like finding more pockets of time and space to be able to do those little things that make you happy, bring you joy, and fill your cup. Because again, at the beginning of the video, what are we talking about? Feeling things from the inside out. Feeling awesome, amazing, and fulfilled on the inside so that you're feeling awesome, amazing, and fulfilled on the outside. Because when you are awesome and filled on the inside, you do things to represent that, so then your outside world starts to change. Does that make sense? Cool. Let me make sure there's more. There isn't more. Let's see. Anything else? Boom. Two of Cups. Again, representation of companionship, partnership, two people having things in common, another nod to alignment. Maybe it's a nod to, you know, asking for help. And then last but not least, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about working, being steadfast, focused. And the Four of Pentacles, again, it's a representation, but this four is also represent being stingy with your time, energy, and resources. But in this particular case, if you check this young lady out, she looks impressed and put together. I think this is spirit telling you to take your time, be selfish with your time, so that you can really fulfill yourself and fill your cup. It is you holding on to your resources. Yes, it says stability, savings, foundation, money, and security, and you finding that within yourself first. Okay? Yeah. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some diligence. It's going to take some focus. It's going to take some consistency on your part in order to see the results of what it is that you're trying to do. But it's going to happen. Okay, so Spirit, what is the result? We already know the result because, again, it seems like it's the same reading over and over again. But, let's see if that makes sense. What is the result of them taking care of themselves? Okay. Okay, one more. Thank you. All right, now it's making sense. Okay. So, look, it's going to be a little bit of conflict because when you're learning to do something new, when you're trying something new, when you're doing something that you're not used to doing, it takes 21 days to create a habit, and then it takes another 60 to 90 days on top of that in order to solidify that habit. And what this is saying is that it's the Five of Wands is about conflict, and what that is telling me is that there are going to be other things that are trying to compete for your time and your energy, and you are going to have to tell them no. The Judgment card right here, you're going to have to make a decision on what it is you truly want and desire for yourself. You're going to have to make that decision on what you're choosing to spend your time, energy on. And here's the Two of Wands. Again, you're going to have to make a decision between two or more things, but because it's two right here and they're on opposite sides, usually the Two of Wands is about planning into the future and figuring out in what direction you're going to put your energy towards. So that is why I said two. But this card also says plans, partnership, and influence. So again, you're going to have to decide where you're going to put that energy. But then I'm going to cover up her tatas here. But once you do, the result is the World card. The World card is success, fulfillment, reward, and completion. And if you're not familiar with the Fool's Journey is about, hey girl, hey, I'm actually getting ready to get off in a little bit. Whew. I've been up here for, let's see here, bow. I've been up here for about 2.5, no, I got here about 8:30, so about 3 hours. But when you take that opportunity to put in a healing and truly decide what it is that you want to do, that is when you're going to receive everything it is that you truly desire, everything that you manifested, everything that you prayed for, everything that you put in the work in for. What I was getting ready to say about the Fool's Journey. The Fool's Journey is about an individual who takes a risk and then go through the process of learning through love, learning through hardship, learning through death and rebirth, learning through, making certain decisions, being authoritative in the direction that they plan on going. And then throughout of all these lessons, the World card is the end of the major arcana. So you're getting all the things that you want. Shima, I think she left again, but I was going to ask her if she wanted a free reading before she left, But that is it, you guys. That is it. 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 I'm trying to think. Oh, I got the no card at the bottom of the deck. So let me just double check and see if Spirit has anything else. I think they want me to grab the Moonology deck. Hey girl, hey, I was gonna ask you if you wanted to do a quick free reading while I am here. You'll probably be my last reading for the day, but we spent this whole live doing pretty much shadow work. I picked up my own book of shadow work, and I mentioned affirmations. I gave some of my personal techniques on how I handle certain situations. I showed them my brain dump book that I use. Yes, Shima, you girl, you. Miss Mother Tree, you, honey. So Spirit told me to do free live readings today. I'm not sure why, but I'm not gonna say I'm not sure why. It's because Spirit wants to better the community, and a lot of people enjoy free things. So Spirit was just like, nope, get up here, do some free readings, and help some folks out. Let's leave some people in the direction. Oh my gosh, I feel so seen. Hey Pookie Poo. Hi girl, hey. I'm here for you. Oh, unless you don't like being seen, I can pretend you don't exist. But I kind of want you to exist. I kind of want to give you a free reading. But if you don't want me to bring you out, I can just pretend that you don't exist, even though, the Sun card says, hey, you do exist. But I'm just saying. I'm good existing. Okay. Well, it's up to you. Come on, son. I'm saying though. Well, how about this? I'll do 3 cards real quick. Divine Spirit, Holy Spirit, source of all that is there anything, a quick message for Shima? Give her some encouragement. Give her some love. Give me 3 cards. Give me 3 cards from a girl. 3 cards from a girl, Shima. Oh, 3 cards. Oh. I might pop in and out because I'm dashing, but I'm present. Well, honey, I got 3 cards for you. I've got the 4 of Swords, and you know tarot, so we've got the 4 of Swords, the Lover's card, and the 2 of Cups. And that's is giving real relationship like. But what I'm gonna say is, if it's giving relationship when you least expect it. It's giving alignment. That's what I said. Ooh, shit. That's what I said. It's giving alignment. It's giving partnership. It's giving, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting a feeling of like innocence. I'm getting a feeling of purity in it. With this 4 of Swords sitting right here, it's a rest and recovery period, meaning like it's going to be something that's unexpected for you. You're going to be minding your business. You're going to be in a process of taking care of yourself, and there's going to be an opportunity for alignment and or love, peace, and harmony to show up for you in your life. But the thing is, the fact that the Lover's card and the 2 of Cups came up is really giving relationship and or partnership, depending on what it is that you want or what it is that you're ready for. But Yeah, that might be something that you can look forward to in the future. Yeah. In the very near future. I got the 8 of Wands here, and as you can see, it says travel, good news, good fortune. Travel, good news, good fortune. And then you have the Justice card right here. So you got travel, good news, good fortune, equality, balance, fairness. Yeah, like I said, I felt peace with this. So that's something that you can, you know, expect coming in the near future, honey. I got an Emperor and the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck on the split. So what that's telling me is giving a man that is about his business, who is reliable. Okay, so for the King of Pentacles, it says reliable, visionary, and generous, which means this person is going to have the funds. He's going to pay the cost to be the boss. But the thing is, he's already the boss. He's just going to put the effort and energy into showing you exactly who he is. Wanna be a baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades on the Impala. And the man who dropped his food off just now is fine as fine. I feel like that was an extra confirmation. Period. Period. Oh my gosh. Okay, King of Pentacles came right back up. Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck now, which represents, you know, being beautiful, being extravagant, being charismatic, being sexy, fun, flirtatious. Yeah. Definitely a confirmation. Definitely a confirmation. Okay, what do these three say? Oh yeah. So I've got the 5 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, and the Sun energy all over again. So remember, we just talked about the sun coming out. So what this is telling me is, it's kind of giving be careful of self-sabotage, because everything is coming in, lining up. Everything is just, is going to be fair, is going to come in. It may come in a little too fast for you. Talking about, oh no, pluck them swords. Girl, I know it. But I think this is more so a warning for you, because the Sun card came out. It represents like a level of illumination. So I think that in a darker world, or a shadow work world, damn, I shall be doing that. Yeah, to me, it's giving more like self-sabotage, or overthinking, or creating scenarios in which this person can be unjust, when really and truly, like, this person is not going to show you anything that's going to confuse you. It's going to be like you're expected. It's like having, like, men ain't crap, so I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop. There you go. It's almost like you might be waiting on the other shoe to drop, but Spirit is asking you to be open-minded, and just be open to the experience. I will never tell somebody to drop their guard, or to never have boundaries or anything like that. Absolutely not, you know. But when this person comes in, is going to be, well, you know what? Let's see. How will she know when this particular person comes in, Spirit? How will she know? How will she know what she's looking at, or what she's looking for? Let's see. How will she know? You're going to know, because by the time this person comes in, you would have healed enough to be able to see. Because the Hermit card says healing, solitude, and inner work. This person is going to come, because I sure don't be knowing. This person is going to come after you take the time out and do a little bit more healing, because this person is going to be the light in the darkness for you. Does that make sense? They're going to truly be the light in the darkness for you. What is this right here? Ace of Cups. Everything about them is going to be out loud. And the Ace of Cups, of course, is new beginnings, love, relationships, emotional, those types of things. So, yeah, it's going to be obvious. The Star card. Yeah. This man is going to be everything you prayed for, everything that you desired to be, and he's going to treat you like you're the light of his life. Because, again, it's the King of Pentacles, and it was the Emperor. So, again, not being afraid to pay the cost to be the boss. So that means he sees your value and he's willing to pay it. Does that make sense? So, period. That's how you gonna know. And he should and is. Period. Yeah, this is gonna be a real good experience for you. I'm excited. I'm excited. Come on, provider. That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Girl, this King of Pentacles won't go away. It won't go away. With every shuffle, this King of Pentacles is right here at the bottom. Nah, baby. It's really going to be somebody. Four of Wands. That's the marriage card. That represents foundation, freedom, union. And guess who's still at the bottom of the deck? It's real. It's real. Yep, that was the end of the message because the Four of Wands finally took over. Yep. Peace, patience, healing. Yeah. 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 Now, again, with the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords, it doesn't mean that this individual is not going to trigger you. It's just being aware enough. It's going to illuminate the spots of you that still need to heal. So I'm not going to get married. Listen, I'm going to say it like this. With the Lover's card, the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Four of Wands, and the Sun card, it's giving, don't knock it till you try it. Like, it's giving, I didn't know what I was missing. It's giving, we'll see what happens. No, but like, for real, getting married is completely your choice. And to be honest, regardless of if you love a person or not, or feel like you want to spend the rest of your time, your life with them or not, like, marriage is work. You feel me? But something I said earlier, when you're doing something that you love, you feel like you never worked a day in your life. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think this is going to be an experience for you that you haven't experienced before. And sometimes, what is the word? There's a phrase I usually like to say, like, normalize changing your point of view when introduced to new information. So I think that if a man shows up and really does his due diligence, he shows you that he loves you, he provides for you, he protects you, he, has emotional intelligence, he has boundaries, he, does all these things for you, I don't think you would be opposed, to getting married. Because there's finally somebody who showed and proved. You get what I'm saying? Talking about, damn, I gotta expand. Something that I mentioned yesterday. Have you ever seen that reel with the lady who was sitting down? I guess it was like a yoga class or something. And she was like, "Excuse me, miss, I don't have a partner." And she was like, "Oh." And then this guy walks in. He's like very handsome, tall. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to push my motorcycle uphill for a mile, blah, 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 in order to get here in the rain," or some crazy mess. And the lady turns around and he's just so handsome. And she's just like, "Oh my gosh." And he's like, "Oh, just in time. You're going to be her partner." And she's like, "What? I can't even breathe around this man and he about to be my partner?" You know what I mean? Like, it's going to come out just like that. Like, I can't even breathe around this man. And he's supposed to do what? That's what it feels like. Yeah. And trust. And it's a part of the process. You know what I'm saying? And then, again, trust is to be earned. You know? Trust is still to be earned. So, Death card and the Judgment card is going to be a completely new experience for you. Completely new experience. The old ways and the old situations that you have experienced are going to pale in existence to this new experience. It's going to be an awakening for you. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So, boom. But that's it, ladies and gents. I'm so glad I got to finally do a reading today. I really wanted to at least get one reading in today. So thank you for being a friend. Oh yeah. So with that being said, you guys, if you would like to have a private reading with me, I do 30-minute readings, hour readings. I also do Reiki healing sessions, energetic healing sessions. I also do spiritual counseling sessions. So I go in depth with your divine guides, guardians, and ancestors. They wish to see you on the highest path for the greatest good. And we go in and assess what it is that you truly need and desire in order to, spark that moment of change in your life. And then we come up with a plan and direct you. You did a great job. Thank you, honey bunny. Thank you, honey bunny. But we come up with a plan together to give you an actionable plan, something that you can take away from the counseling session and implement. And then after that, because it is a fairly costly appointment, I will also give you a coupon code in order to have a follow-up appointment. Because sometimes when you have these moments, it's like, okay, start with this. It's not a one size fit all. It's not an end all be all. Usually, if it took a long time for you to get into the situation that you're in, it can take a long time and or multiple processes or multiple ideas that you need to get rid of, release, heal in order to continue to move forward in the way that, in a purposeful manner. Okay. So, definitely let me know. Go to www.thetransformationalempress.com to book a reading, or you can go to my bio.site /transformational empress to follow my other platforms. I'm also, Instagram allows for me to go live no matter how many followers I have, but Facebook won't allow me to go live until I have 100 followers, and YouTube would not allow me to go live until I have 50 subscribers. So if anybody wants to help me out with helping to raise those subscriber counts, again, everything is either the Transformational Empress or Transformational Empress. If you go to my bio.site /Transformational Empress, you will see all of my social media handles, there, and follow me, book with me. If all hearts and minds are clear, babies, I love y'all. I really do. We are really here. I'm still gonna book. Hey, listen, I'm here for you, Pookie. And I think I gave you a code too. I keep my word. I really do want to be able to help and heal people, thousands of people. So if I got to give out a few coupon codes every now and then, I don't mind. And not saying that you asked for it. I gave it to you because we work together, we work well together, and we we really got down to the nitty gritty of some stuff. And like, I just know shit is gonna pew for you. Like, I see it. I see it. I see it. So my and did, period. So good. I'm so grateful for that you showed up today. Like, it really warms my heart. But if all hearts and minds are clear, I'm gonna head out. Be good, be smart, be safe. I hope you heal, and better yet, I hope you heal with me. Peace.